Okay, so we are back with more of this. As I try to piece together what the hell happened. I mean, well, I know what happened, but I don't know from who or like timeline of things. Like I still don't know how or when Iris got yeah, like I still don't know when or how Iris got kidnapped. So I'm not entirely sure the situation involving that. Also don't entirely know what Odo was going to say and talk about. I am also, as I look at the flowchart, thinking I'm probably headed towards a bad end. Or at least an end in. Because in all of these kind of games that I've played, I've never seen the flowchart move up before normally. I mean, there was one instance where I saw a new thing appear, like, at the top. But that was like something in the past that like led into the beginning, you know, it was like by like being just a little bit before it. So that made sense. Never seen an, you know, and it moves just like one block above the beginning. I've never seen an entirely different route just go all the way up. So hopefully that's not what's going on here. But we'll see. For now, we're going to get out of here and try to figure something out. Whether that'll happen, I have no idea. Oh, Peter's there.
Date, I have to talk to you about something.
Huh?
About
What?
the original Cyclops serial killings.
Well, I'm glad someone's going to say something about it.
Why this all of a sudden?
Because I want you to solve this case, Mr. Date.
And what, Boss doesn't? Is that what you're saying?
I want you to find who did this and bring them to justice.
Or do you want me to solve the original one too?
So, if I can help you, even a little.
Why didn't you say anything at Abyss?
Because Boss was there and you weren't allowed to?
The boss was there. I couldn't speak openly in front of her. So, I decided to meet you here.
With all these other cops around outside that report to her?
All right, let's hear it.
Earlier, I told you that I was completely certain the original Cyclops killer couldn't have committed these crimes.
Right, so are they dead?
I am absolutely certain the original Cyclops killer could not have committed these crimes. Let me explain why. I'll start by telling you the identity of the Cyclops killer.
Okay.
Although, it's more accurate to say killers.
More than one?
In the first series of killings, the culprit had an accomplice.
Well, I hope that accomplice wasn't Iris and that's what they're getting at.
One of them was born a murderous psychopath.
Born a murderous psychopath. Yeah, okay, that could be Iris, because that's, you know, pink-haired chicks and sharp things and all that. I know that trope enough.
The other is Rohan Kumakura, the previous chairman of the Kumakuras.
Wait, he was the original?
They each had a role to play. The murderer committed the homicide, and Rohan removed the eyeball.
See, I don't think the policeman would like being called a hologram bear here, but you know. Back to that computer, I'm just examining things. Oh, okay.
"18 years ago, Rohan took a woman's eye.
Right.
She was already dead. He put his finger into her eye socket
God.
and gouged it out.
Oh, I really should stop asking about this.
The reason why was simple. He was fascinated by women's eyes.
Oh, why?
Their beauty stimulated his greed and his desire to possess them.
Oh, God. You can't see it, but I'm like... Oh, I'm like facepalming right now. Well, not facepalming, I'm just like, oh.
He needed to have them.
I'm
to
just like
make them his own.
visibly wincing. Oh.
Driven by this instinctive impulse, he took the woman's eye.
Eye trauma is like one thing that like makes me like really, really super squeamish and uncomfortable. So having a whole game where that's like a central theme is kind of like, oof, what am I doing?
From then on, he acquired a grotesque obsession with the eyes of dead women.
You don't
He
say.
was very particular about his need that the eye belonged to a deceased woman.
Oh, okay.
But even being the head of a Yakuza gang, there weren't too many opportunities for him to indulge.
Well, I wouldn't think you get many opportunities to just pluck out dead women's eyes. That sounds like a kind of fucked up thing you don't get many chances at.
His deepest, darkest desire went unfulfilled for years.
I'm sorry?
However, he soon met his ideal partner, the aforementioned psychopath. The Cyclops killer would commit the murder, and Rohan would take the eye.
Alright.
Thus, a mutually beneficial relationship was established.
Congratulations to him.
This was the origin of the Cyclops serial killings. At about the same time, you were assigned to Abyss. That, I don't know.
The details of the original Cyclops serial killings case have become nebulous over time. Even the official investigation material contains nothing of value. I am unable to draw any conclusions from them.
Well, thanks anyway, Iba.
You really have no idea?
If I did, I would tell you. He was born with a brain dysfunction.
Oh, I mean, I guess that does kind of make sense.
Due to damage to the posterior pituitary gland, he was unable to properly secrete oxytocin.
I mean, typically it's considered that those that are psychopathic or sociopathic or committing serial killer murders have some sort of, it's considered to be theoretically, from a lot of stuff I read up, at least that I've seen and heard about, there's supposed to be some like deficiency or change in the way that their like brain perceives things, obviously. Beyond just like and dislike type things. I don't know all the details and everything, so I'm not going to pretend to be a psychiatrist and act like I know all the, or a psychologist and act like I know all the things, because I don't. Just saying, yeah, I have heard some things. Whether they're accurate or not, who knows?
Oxytocin is a peptide hormone linked to feelings of love, affection, and trust.
Thank you for bailing me out, Iva.
It is colloquially referred to as the love hormone. It causes a tranquilizing effect which improves mood and relieves stress. It is normally secreted when the body makes contact with an object of affection, such as an embrace or caress.
Wait, so are you trying to get at that he only felt that way when he killed people?
I'm sure you know what this implies, but he was unable to feel love in the way that we do.
That does typically seem to be something that, at least fiction-wise, gets associated with that.
However, he was able to experience a substitute, His brain was wired in such a way that allowed him to feel satisfaction through other means. Due to the unique idiosyncrasies of his brain, he was able to release large amounts of dopamine and endorphins
Right.
by performing a certain action.
What was it?
I'm going to assume it was killing people.
Murder.
Dopamine is a hormone linked to the reward system of the brain.
I am so glad Iba's here to bail me out of this.
The pleasant feeling attained through accomplishment is dopamine.
So this way when I make theories, I can just be like, okay, look, the game is making me look less stupid. And explaining it in a way better than I could.
Endorphins are a kind of brain narcotic.
Right.
They dull pain and create a feeling of happiness.
He got pleasure from killing people?
It's slightly more complicated than that. Killing people was the only way he could get pleasure. He was 12 when he took his first life.
Oof.
That enlightened him to the pleasure of murder, which he would do again and again.
So wait, are you implying that the first victim was killed when the killer was only 12? Which would mean they were only 18 at the... Wait... No, but they said he. Yeah, they said he, so it can't be Iris. And if it was,
The
I
original
doubt...
Cyclops killer had an accomplice.
And if it was, I doubt the first one would have killed the second or something.
There were 2 Cyclops killers.
Right.
And one of them was the former chairman of the Kumakuras, Rohan Kumakura.
Rohan committed suicide by jumping to his death 1 year ago.
Is it suicide, or threatened suicide?
That means...
Like, was it a case of either do this or this will happen?
Pewter, tell me this. One of the original killers is dead, I know that. But that means one remains. Who is he?
After his 4th murder, he was arrested by the police. They actually picked him up on other charges.
Oh.
But, in any case, he is currently serving a life sentence in Fuchu prison.
Is it Prisoner 89?
Fuchu prison?
Yes.
What's his name?
In prison, he doesn't have a name.
I knew
He's
it.
simply called Number 89.
That's what I figured.
Number 89.
I know who killed Shogun Adami.
So, now you know why I said that. That the original Cyclops killer couldn't have committed these crimes. Because one is dead, and the other is behind bars.
Okay, that makes sense.
Neither of them had the opportunity.
I mean, I guess if they're sure that they're dead. But what if the one they have in prison and are charged with it isn't actually the original one? Like, what if they're not actually the killer and they're just someone they think is? Oh, Mizuki's there. Yeah, I should probably talk to her. I mean, everyone she knows is getting... That must be real tough. I mean... Yeah, I can't even begin to imagine that. And And hopefully I never have to. And hopefully anyone listening to this never has to either. I thought I said large spider for a second. How to rabbit? Ah, shit, 0 the third's here. So what, do you just sleep on the couch, Date? Is that all this is? Wait, no, there's the door. And I'm not leaving, obviously, I just wanted to investigate everything.
Mizuki must know about Iris and Ota.
Of course. The news was distributed heavily across the internet.
Yeah, I mean, you probably could have figured that she knew just from how she was acting.
Not just in Japan, but worldwide. 3 days ago, Mizuki discovered her mother's body. 2 days ago, her father's. This morning, 2 of her best friends. It is completely understandable that she is at her mental limit.
Yeah, you don't say. It would be understandable for someone to be at their mental limit after it. Even one of those things happening.
Can I be left alone for a while?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Aiba, contact Abyss. See if they can get Mizuki a good counselor.
Understood.
Yeah, I did figure there would eventually be nothing I could do. But you know, I'm like, I want to go everywhere I can, if at all possible. Like, I don't want to just jump from story progression place to story progression place. You know?
Where did she go?
Well, she isn't always here, correct?
Don't tell me Boss is dead too.
True. What are you doing?
I thought it would be easier to talk like this.
What do we have to talk about?
A summary of the investigation, perhaps?
Well, you're not wrong.
What summary? We don't have anything new.
Well, we can still go over stuff we do have.
That's not true.
Huh?
I was curious, so I did some research.
Alright.
About number 89.
Well, I mean, 89 has to have an actual name. Like, it can't just be called 89 and that'll be it. Whether he goes by it or not anymore is irrelevant to the fact that he has one. Da-da-da. Yeah, I know they're like, well, why are you investigating everything again when it's just gonna say the same thing? Well, because I don't know, I've been told to investigate everything you can every chance you get. So if it's still colored green, then that's what I'm gonna do. At least if I see it. I obviously can't if I don't. Alright, Iba. What you got for me?
As you know, he is an assassin with multiple confirmed kills.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He is currently serving a sentence at Fuchu Prison.
Or I probably... Well, maybe I should have, but just forgot.
He was imprisoned 6 years ago.
Right.
That's what Pewter told us.
After his fourth murder, he was arrested by the police.
Mm-hmm.
Pewter claims that there were 2 culprits behind the original serial killings.
Right.
One was the former chairman of the Kumakuras, Rohan Kumakura.
Just don't recap the eyeball thing.
But Rohan committed suicide last year.
That leaves one culprit still alive, number 89.
But number 89 couldn't possibly have committed these crimes. He was in jail when each of the murders occurred.
Right.
Correct. However, I do not believe it is accurate to claim that he had nothing to do with the incident.
I mean, yeah, he could have known someone.
I know who killed Shogun Adami.
If he was telling the truth, his involvement is possible.
I mean, yeah, he couldn't have just... Unless he was just bullshitting, but... He did predict the next murder.
Unknown.
You don't know?
No such person is listed in the family registry. It is possible he is a foreigner, but his nationality is unknown.
Well, they're not going to list his name as number 89. Like, the prisoner registry has to have something, right?
However, I believe it is safe to say that he was born and raised in Japan. Unknown. I cannot determine if they have any connection. Approximately 1 month ago, Hitomi Sagan witnessed Shoko in Fuchu Prison's waiting room. I am unable to say for certain that the person she was there to visit was number 89.
Okay, so that was weird, but it just seemed like something went by, like, a window here. So I had to sort of pause.
After all, Fuchu Prison houses 2,000 inmates.
But number 89 knew Shoko's name.
89 out of 2,000? Man.
I know who killed Shogun Adami.
That must mean that he knew her somehow.
It is possible.
Yeah, can't we just talk to him?
Let's talk to number 89.
Alright. However, we need not go to him. We can bring him to us.
Well, I mean, we are the
If we
police.
plan on syncing with him, it would be more efficient.
Oh, that's gonna
Can
be
you
rough.
arrange that?
I can.
Don't we have to go through boss for that? Yeah, where the hell is boss? Like, is boss dead? Is that what we're supposed to get from this? So I sure as hell hope not. You know, he looks more generic than I thought he would. But maybe that's the point.
Sorry to interrupt your busy day, but I need you to tell me something. I'd appreciate your cooperation.
Just give me a second while I investigate the room, okay? Okay.
Number 89.
Your real name.
I don't remember. Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso is a republic in West Africa. Population 17 million.
Thank you, Iba.
I don't have time for your jokes.
Yeah, I guess I do.
About a month ago, Shoko visited Fuchu prison. Was she there to see you?
That's right.
What did you talk about?
Nothing special.
You're in no position to lie.
I'm not lying. She didn't come to hear me talk.
Then why did she come?
To meet me.
Meet you?
Oh,
She probably just wanted to see me.
seems a little weird.
That's right. I was one of the culprits behind the case 6 years ago. One of the two Cyclops killers.
Well, I didn't have to. At least. Didn't have to ask him about that part, he just sort of gave it up freely. Okay.
A long time ago. I don't remember exactly when.
What's your relationship to her?
A physical one.
Excuse me?
I'm kidding. She was just a business partner.
All right, let's get right down to it. 2 days ago, you called Investigation HQ and said, I know who killed Shoko Nadami.
Right.
That's right.
Who?
Hey, don't be so hasty. We haven't agreed on a deal. You're gonna let me out of prison, right?
It's done. You've got a deal.
All right. But to explain it properly, I need to tell you a story. It might take
All right.
some time. Is that all right with you?
I've got nothing but time.
This sounds real fishy.
Then let's get started. The story of a lonely assassin. Once upon a time, there was a detective, full of righteous justice.
Well, aren't they all?
Let's call him F. F found the evils of the world intolerable. F had no parents, no siblings, and grew up in an orphanage since he was born.
So you were a detective now.
He suffered every kind of abuse imaginable there. It led him to despise all the evils of the world. One day, F was chasing a thug down at the harbor. Someone wanted for the assault and murder of women.
Okay, I get it. I'll just throw down my knife. Here. And you lower your gun. It's fine. I got nothing else on me. I'll go quietly.
No, you
You
won't.
know, I have a history with hospitals. I've been going to a special hospital for a while. Even if I get caught, it's all good. I'll come right back out again. What should I do next time? Just thinking about it gets me excited.
Apparently you're not doing anything next time.
The culprit was unarmed, but F never served a day in prison. The case went to trial for some time, but it was determined to be self-defense, and he was declared innocent. If the truth got out, it would be a huge scandal for the police. People at the upper level were terrified of what might happen, so they had evidence fabricated. F wasn't suspended or disciplined at all. After a while, he returned to his job like nothing happened.
Yeah, it does. Okay, I'd said before I recognize his voice, and it does sound a lot like the principal from Persona 5, for sure.
That was a turning point for him.
Though I forget the name of the voice actor.
He was ready to shed the morality that was weighing him down, holding him back. F still wanted justice, and he was willing to dispense it to the immoral one by one. He became an assassin. A lone gunman. No agent, no employer. He was his own man. F believed that he was judge, jury, and executioner.
Right.
But it didn't last long. One day, F got rid of a criminal we'll call X. X was responsible for defrauding and killing an innocent old man for his life insurance policy. Turns out, X had connections. Someone wasn't happy that he died. Rohan Kumakura, chairman of the Kumakuras. X was a top executive of the Kumakuras at the time.
Okay.
Rohan ordered his men to find and kidnap F.
I've done some research. I know you've cleaned up at least 18 pieces of scum from this Earth. But somehow there hasn't been a single criminal investigation. They're all treated as suicides, accidents, or natural causes. Amazing work. I'm impressed. How about you work for us? Of course, you have the right to say no, but it'll be the last word out of your mouth.
F was trapped. Even if he somehow survived, he would be looking over his shoulder for the rest of his life.
Pretty much.
He had no choice but to take Rohan's offer. Thus, F's self-employment came to an end. He became a hired gun of the Kumakuras. Rohan even gave him a code name, Falco. Named for the falcon, a bird of prey.
Oh, that's what the F was for. So I guess that is Falco.
Falco didn't quit his job as a police officer, though. He worked as a detective by day, assassin by night, at the will of the organization. An ordinary killer would need motive to take a life, but not Falco. He did as he was told, one target after another.
Right.
It didn't take long to destroy his heart completely. Time passed, and a few years back, Falco, who by this time was exhausted in body and spirit, made a fatal mistake.
And what was that?
He missed his mark and ended up taking a bullet to the stomach.
Was the mark he missed, Date?
Somehow he managed to escape. After reaching a nearby shrine, his legs finally gave out under him. He had no strength left. He put his back up against the shrine and let out a moaning breath that he thought might be his last. But at that moment, in his darkening vision, he saw a woman approach him. He watched her take out her phone and dial for help. At the same time, he heard footsteps. Footsteps of at least 2 people closing in.
Okay.
He knew immediately that they were after him. He sprung into action, grabbing the woman and pulling her close, kissing her to keep her from talking. That was the first encounter between Falco and the woman.
The woman was Shoto, right?
She was a teacher at some school. It was like she was from a totally different world than him. Listening to her talk, he would forget everything about his line of work. She was his only contact with the ordinary, mundane world. They met in secret a few more times, and Falco felt his heart grow warmer.
Of
Her
course.
smile and kindness were like a cold glass of water for Falco's parched heart. Falco started to become himself again. His former self. He swore on his life that from then on, he would live for her.
So, you want to go clean? Fine. Do as you please. You've done a lot for us. But there is one last thing. One final job I want you to do for me. It's nothing major. This woman and her daughter. I need you to dispose of them.
That Shoto and Mizuki?
Should be simple, no?
Rohan handed Falco a picture of a woman and a girl. It was the teacher Falco met at the shrine. And her daughter. She had just turned 12.
Oh, it was Iris. And her mom.
Why the 2 of them? Rohan, as usual, never gave a reason. And Falco had no intention of carrying out the kill. But if he didn't, he knew that someone else would. He thought long and hard. How was he going to keep them safe and get out of the life of crime? He couldn't find an answer, no matter how hard he thought.
Kill
He was
Rohan.
backed into a corner. So, he decided to call on an old friend for help. And then,
Was that the whole story? You mentioned a detective. Why did you stop? What's the connection between that and Shoko?
Well, he's just not gonna answer.
Hey, answer me.
This is a transaction, remember? Until I get a guarantee that you'll uphold your end of the bargain, I'm not telling you anything else. I'll give you half up front, half later.
Well,
If you want to hear the rest of my story, you better start the release procedures.
well, I mean, he's not stupid.
Once they've cleared, I'll tell you everything.
Date, it is unlikely that number 89 will uphold his promise, even upon release.
Oh yeah.
Pewter,
Yes?
start the preparations.
For what?
What do you think? The sink.
Oh boy. This is gonna be really tricky.
I have injected number 89 with the usual dosage. He will not be waking up anytime soon.
Also, where the hell is
Ready,
boss?
Agent Date?
Yeah,
The time limit is 6 minutes.
I know.
Then let's begin.
Oh, I am so screwed here. I haven't even started it, and already I'm like, I am so fucked. There is just no way I get through this.
Sup?
I mean, I'll get through it at some point, but probably not without restarting. Why are you chilling on the floor?
No, not sup. Why are you sleeping on the job?
Because I want to, obviously.
Aiba.
Why are you getting mad at me?
Yeah, this rug feels so good on my skin, yeah?
What?
Why are you suddenly a cat?
Yeah.
Playtime's over. Let's begin.
Then stand up.
Is this the Sagan residence?
Oh yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
It definitely is. But why?
So that means Iris did see the killings.
Number 89. What were you up to?
Well, the woman was probably, as I had thought when he mentioned the thing about her turning 12, was probably Iris's mother.
What?
The hell was that?
The green. I do not think I can pass through it.
Really wants to hide it, huh? Okay, new plan.
Somnium scan. Activate.
Oh, I wish it was longer than 6 minutes. Can it be 10 minutes instead? Please don't have 5. Okay, well, at least it's only 4. Wait, only 4, I say.
This appears to correspond to the green thing.
Yes. It's covered in green membrane. I can't get close. Okay, gonna pause this and then just resume afterwards because I have no idea how long this is going to take.